Hey everybody, this is Ashmit and welcome back to Life of Ashmit. So, today, after a very long time, I'm finally releasing another video, and today's topic will be the 6 types of biases. So, this video was made possible with this huge 700 plus page book, The Laws of Human Nature. And thank you, Mr. Robert Greene, for providing me with the content. But yeah, this video will be very useful to you because only some people can read, the a 700 plus page book. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get right into it. So first of all, what's a bias? See, a bias is a natural tendency towards something and neglecting all of the other things. Basically, let's take an example: a normal school, and inside, like, in the school, there is a normal class. So there are 3 types of people in a normal class: the people who score really well, the people who score really well, and the people who score like not even good enough, and they are barely able to pass. But yeah, there are these types of people. And whenever somebody asks the teacher asks a question, then they always pick that really well kid instead of the really well kid or the below average kid. So yeah, that is what a bias is, and I think that I explained it really well because this was a genuinely good example. So yeah, let's talk about the 6 types of biases, shall we? So first of all, let's talk about the conviction bias. See, there are these kinds of people who you should avoid, according to me, because these are those kinds of people who who have a particular belief, a stereotypical belief, and they are particularly old people, or generally they are old people because they have that stereotypical thingies. Like, for example, let's take an example. This is a stereotype, and I'm not saying this. An old person will say this, who is under this, trapped in this bias. Women should do household work only. This is what an old person who is of backward, orthodox, who is an orthodox person will say. So now, if you go ahead and say that no, this should not be there, and if you're, for example, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, who fought for women's rights, so yeah, you would just go ahead and say that it's not true. But they will just try to prove their point and challenge you on this, because they are those people who don't really listen to people and make people listen to them. So yeah, they will just go ahead and argue with you too much, and then when they see that this argument has generated so much heat and energy in them, then they will think that they must be right. This stereotype must be right because because it generated so much energy in them. So this was a stereotypical example, and now let us go ahead and talk about salesmen. Now, why am I particularly talking about salesmen? Well, that's because salesmen also do this. They use aggressive language. For example, let us take an example. So I'm going to say a normal sentence such as "This is a good book," or even with less excitement, I'm going to say "This is a good book." But after that, if I say "This is a good book," so what did I basically do over here? I emphasized the word "this," and then I emphasized the word "is," then I emphasized the word "good." So yeah, that's what it is, and that is why you thought that I must be knowing what I'm talking about, and I am knowing what I'm talking about. But here we are taking an example. So yeah, that's basically it, and that is how it is. So yeah, that is it. And so this was basically it, and they put emphasis on words which are and that is how they win you over whenever selling a service. So comment in the comment section down below, hashtag salesman debugged. So debunked. All right. Now let us talk about my favorite bias, that is the appearance bias, because it really explains so much about human nature itself. So for example, you have like cracked a good job somewhere at Google, somewhere in Meta and Amazon, Apple, and other companies. So now, whenever you're going to take whenever you're going for an interview, will you be using abusive language and like drinking a lot and swearing a lot? No, because you have trained yourself for that particular moment, and that is why you are not really who you are. It's basically a paradox kind of thing, but you have trained yourself for that particular moment, so you are not that person who you actually are. For this is just an example, this is not for in like, if you were not going for an interview, you just go ahead and like use like swear a lot and say shady things, basically shady things. You get the idea. So yeah, you're not really who you are whenever you're going for a big event which will change your life. Basically, that's basically it. Also, there's an other effect in this, which is the halo effect. That means that basically, whenever you think about a billionaire, what kind of attributes do you join along with that billionaire word? He's a good person, he's an ethical person, and he's a really like awesome person. So yeah, he deserves all the money he has. But people, basically not all of them, and particularly billionaires and millionaires, don't really follow that much ethical things, and don't really do that much ethical things, basically. So you can't really say that they are good or not on the basis of how much wealth they have. Yeah. And particularly if a poor person is there, then you will associate some terms such as he's a thief, or he always like does this, he always steals money from people, and you will not go near him. But yeah, that is associated with the appearance bias. And not only poor people, but also but like not only those people are thieves who don't have money. Those people are also thieves who do have money. So yeah, that's basically it. So these were the 3 types of biases which we discussed in this video. And if you really want a part 2, then yeah, comment down in the comment section below, and I will be making a part 2, because finally my exams, all of those, are over, and they were shitty. They were like, I scored well, but they were like shitty. They were long, lengthy. So yeah, this is Ashmit, and we'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.